All right, I would like to call this regular board meeting to order. Today is Monday, June 17th. At the time is 7. The first order of business is the pledge of allegiance. Please stand.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let the roll reflect that all members are present with the exception of Derek Miller. Was this meeting properly notified?
Yes, it was, and as a reminder, it's being recorded and live streamed.
Right. Welcome to all of our visitors. Any public comment? No. Comments by board members and superintendents. The referendum updates.
Yeah, we'll keep this a running agenda, but things continue to be on time and under budget. The new bleachers at the athletic complex will be installed next month in a couple short weeks. Otherwise, yeah, all the finishing within the CTE additions is the main thing.
The punch list coming up.
Yeah, punch list or
Working on the middle school.
yeah, so they start at the middle school. That's mostly all HVAC stuff in select classrooms, but they got a nice plan to work around summer school. The day of the crane was Thursday, I believe. I was out of town, but I heard there was an incident with one worker had a seizure, Pete said, on the roof, and getting him down was an issue. But he eventually, I think, recovered, and they were able to get him down the regular roof access and such. But if you hear about emergency vehicles and fire trucks there, that's why. Now that big thing is they're putting a brand new rooftop unit on, so that was the big thing of building the curb and the steel beams and all that to accommodate it and remove the old one. It's the one that goes right above the main gym.
Other questions where we are?
Next month we have Mark and Johnson coming to give their overall report and budget update and such. So that's next month.
All right, and the graduation recap. It was a great night. I don't know. I love being a part of it. Brandon, myself, and
Yeah, it was a good experience.
Dave handed out.
Too exciting. Well, yeah, it's well run. It's always a good mix of formal and yet personal. The music and the whole program is just well done. It's very fitting, and it's the largest crowd we've had. It's been the largest group of 152 or something, 150-ish students walked, and that was wall to wall. It was packed, but they do a nice job setting everything up and keeping it cool. And the second movie video screen was a nice touch this year. That was a nice addition. Yeah.
Virtual students.
Yeah.
30 or 40.
Get much bigger. We have at least considered discussing an outdoor one at the athletic complex outside, perhaps. But the problem is you got to plan for 2 graduations every time, and that can be tough. And yeah, you got to have the whole gym and everything set up for that anyway. And then you might have to limit seating, and it could be tricky. But something at least we're discussing, considering, and thinking about at some point. But yeah, kudos to Pete and Brian and their support staff. A lot of people going to that planning of the graduation. It's a very fitting culmination.
Custodians did an amazing job getting it ready, and then the tear down, it's a complete team effort, people from all different buildings. It's good.
All right. And moving on to scheduled presentations, and there are none at this meeting. So the next up is financial reports.
Right. So that's the same thing. Checking, we have a balance of $324,392.65. Citizen State Bank Money Market, $126,666.10. Fund 46, $57.42. Suicide prevention, $5,084.80. Debt service, $167,420.08. Referendum, $3,593,035.45. Second referendum account, $3,718,148.80. Debt service, $151,544.01. For a total balance of $8,086,349.31.
Move approval.
Second.
Jeff made the motion, Lance second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Right, so now we have consideration of the consent agenda. And there are no curricular modifications at this time.
You all want to move to approve consent agenda items A through F.
Second.
Right, Lance made the motion, Jeff second. All in, or any discussion? All right, all in favor? Opposed? Right, motion carries. Moving on to the administrative reports. And student enrollment update by Tim.
We added 8 students in seats the last month of school. It's kind of unique, but again, we finished with exactly 1,600 students in seats in the buildings, finish up the year, as compared to 1,606 to start the year. So very consistent. Also, our free and reduced lunch percentage is 25.26. It's been pretty steady. I know in the past 10 years in the low 20s, it's crept up a couple points post-COVID. Then when we ended the year, May 31st, open enrollment, the difference of 354 more students in than out, and largely in part to our virtual charter school, which has 335 students open enrolled in, and our resident virtual students, 39 full-time, 142 part-time. Again, thanks to all the ladies that put a lot of time and effort into every single person. It's nearly 2,000 students that they have to account for, which is not easy because there's lots of different situations, people moving and not necessarily notifying us that they're open enrolled and virtual school, and there's every situation moving in and out that you can think of. So it's very complicated. So kudos to all the ladies involved in that.
Thank you. So now we'll move on to the key work of our school board, student, staff, and community recognition.
Yeah, SCC School Board, thank you for being an outstanding school board. Your board governance, support of all administrators, and professional trust in us administrators is recognized and very appreciated. Lily Klinkhammer, congrats on your 6th place finish in the 300 hurdles at the WIA state track meet. Brady Jackman, Brady, congrats on your 4th place finish in the discus at the WIA state track meet. Brody Peisig, Brody, congrats on an amazing senior year and your 7th place finish in the shot put at the WIA state track meet. Brad Sabe, Brad, coaches and team, congrats on earning St. Croix Central's 1st middle border conference title in the sport of baseball. Oliver Cran, Oliver, congrats on earning the conference championship as the top shooter this season. Gretchen Roseboom, Mac Cam, Tanya Cran, and coaches, congrats on your trap team's conference championship for the spring trap shooting season. And then to all the spring all conference athletes. Tonight we want to recognize the athletes who earned all conference honors this spring. We had 5 athletes earn 1st team honors, 6 athletes earned 2nd team honors, and 4 athletes were recognized as honorable mention. Congrats to all.
Okay, we'll move on to 6-month COVID mitigation plan review for federal guidelines.
A copy of that was in the board packet. It's exactly the same as it was 6 months ago, but again, it's a federal requirement, receiving ESSER dollars, which were the COVID mitigation and academic recovery federal dollars that were allotted to the state. And then, as you remember, the state then in turn took a large chunk of those dollars and made us use them for operational monies. So the good news is that ends, you know, on a new budget, but that ends this period. I believe it's September. So this is the last time we have to approve our COVID mitigation plan semi-annually. It's as bare bones as it gets.
Do you have to approve it or just?
You do have to approve it.
So approve.
Second.
All right, so Jeff made the motion, Dave second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
This is the last one.
This will be the last one. Yep.
Okay, now we'll move on to core agenda items. Consideration of approval of adding a 1 FTE district ACP coordinator.
As you remember, DeSaul and Tracy Crawley were here last month and presented on the academic and career planning, the whole program. We have to have a coordinator that actually oversees it. So A is to approve the position and adding it to our extracurricular chart. And B would be to actually name the folks that would like to split it, as you can see in that percentage of 0.6 and 0.4.
I'll move to approve adding 1 FTE district ACP coordinator position.
Second.
Lance made the motion, Dave second.
So we have to do those separately, the first and the second.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
gotta do the first one first.
Yeah.
Yes.
it's gonna come in second.
No, do the first one first. Can't clump them together. Maybe. More discussion. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Now, consideration of approval of hiring Tracy Crowley, 0.6 FTE, and Alyssa Fritchie, 0.4 FTE as ACP.
Second.
And so Dave made the motion, Jeff second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to consideration of approval of parking lot repair, seal coating, and striping contract.
Stripping and striping.
Striping.
Say it right. Yeah, that like that. Say it wrong. Good night, guys. Thanks.
So Mac is here too to answer any questions, but as you recall, this is something we approve every other year. Typically, we divided all of our asphalt into 2 and did half and half. But now with the addition of more pavement, especially at the high school, Mac suggested we divide it into thirds, and I fully support that. So it'll be every 3 years that these get it. And you know, we always believe strongly in keeping our facilities looking nice, and obviously adding seal coat, it looks good, but it also preserves it and makes it last much longer. Now there's a kind of a point of diminishing returns where you put so much on, it's kind of putting seal coat on seal coat, you know. So actually, I think Mac talking to the different providers here, they suggested every 3rd year actually might be better for overall maintenance of it. So you can see Mac did a request for proposals, and we have 2, black to black and ACI. And you can see the differences there for all of them. And it would be, I guess I'll let you, Mac, make the recommendation and speak to anything maybe I forgot.
I would take the recommendation to back to black. And ACI never measured the high school like I told them they should. They were trying to do it on Google and it didn't come out quite right. Just move around. Back to black was very intuitive. We're going to do some actual more crack filling now too, divided it by 3. Address some of these other issues. So My recommendation would be back to back, excuse me.
This would be a 3-year bid, so wouldn't have to do this for another 3 years.
I'm sorry, that's quite a
You
bit
do the
more
whole thing at
expensive.
once?
Yeah.
So basically, most of the buildings, elementary, most of the buildings, you would have to divide it 2 or 3 days, just so we don't shut a building down.
Sure.
And he had a nice plan in mind already. Cause like high school, he's like, well, shut this section, leave that open, this section, leave that open, so that we don't. The only time is when we go around the back of the building, that would be, maybe, cause a little confusion, and we'd have to put some barricades up or something, but he seemed like he had a really good plan, and he really wanted it.
Most of our bids like this are 2 years, and this has been, but it's like 3, but like we do, lawn care bids, we do snow plowing bids typically every 2 years, but we're recommending 3 years for that reason.
And this seal coating will also include the new blacktop around the football field, from baseball and softball. And then the playground at the middle school. So there's a few things new in smaller areas.
Is there a reason why ACI is almost twice as much?
I have no idea. We put it out there and, they came and measured the elementary, but they never came to bring it to the high school. I don't know.
I think it's a no-brainer to go back to black to begin with.
And the RFP called for the same type of product, right? They might not be exact brands, but they're the same type.
Same
Correct?
lifespan, same application. The only thing, a lot of the stuff is actually made by the same company, just different sticker.
Right.
The difference maybe, or they would use to fix caulking. And it kind of goes on what they get their hands on. You don't have it right now, you need to get.
We'll make a motion to approve the contract for back to black.
Second.
Dave made the motion, Brad second. Any more discussion?
Just the years that they have listed here, so that would be applied.
Correct. So the middle school, bus garage, and district office will be this summer. Elementary next summer, and then high school. And that's all those other things. The newest asphalt's at the high school one that you don't want to actually seal coat it when it's
Right.
fresh anyway, so it makes sense.
The only thing with the 3-year thing is, we might have to touch up our crosswalks and stuff here and there. I think it'll be better this way.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Now we have the second reading, D through P.
I will move to approve origin items D through E.
Second.
So Lance made the motion, Dave second. Any discussion of those? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next is consideration of first readings, just reviewing them this time, next time we'll approve.
Anything that you think we should note?
Well, pretty straightforward.
Do next week's or next month's replace anything? Yeah,
There were not.
Sorry, Lonnie. Okay, possible future agenda items, anything?
This really one, I guess, agenda item would be upcoming dates for next year.
Oh, right, so I was just looking at our calendar for July, where we have a Wednesday meeting, July 17th, and then our annual budget meeting, the 22nd. And so I'm thinking, instead of meeting twice in the course of 5 days, what your thought is perhaps, because we have to set the annual budget meeting time and place and coming up there at that meeting. And so just having a discussion, perhaps moving that Wednesday meeting right before the budget meeting to the same day, so we're not coming in twice in a couple of days, and we could maybe put the budget meeting at 6 and the board meeting at 7, or just to say as follows, or how do you?
Yeah,
think, Tim?
I would suggest budget. They always post the annual meeting is immediately following the budget meeting, and it could post, I believe, the regular board meeting immediately following the annual
We did have a strategic planning committee.
meeting. No, she
For
meant
next year,
A year.
next year, a year from now,
yeah,
because we gotta set the annual meeting.
Point flip.
Yeah, we're getting way.
yeah.
We're strategic.
I'm just thinking,
Check my pulse.
More meetings. I know. Get paid for one.
I think so
That's all.
too. And we can't move it for this meeting, like we can't
No.
move the July 1 to that budget.
I can't remember when we approved all the board meeting dates in last month. Did it include next year's July meeting? Didn't, right?
No.
It's in June.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we have for this year, we have to keep it the same.
For next.
You could change the regular board meeting. Yeah. you can-
That's the one
22nd.
That's the
we had a
But,
strategic.
yeah,
planning meeting.
Okay.
and
Yeah, that's too much.
and Lee Kritzel might be bringing some other
Oh, yeah.
people to observe us. And I gave him that date.
Okay,
That'd be-
Sure.
okay. So just thinking forward,
Okay.
you look at, and then, you know, we meet with Lee, I think, like at the beginning of August, so it's just a lot for everybody to get. So we can try to condense it next year, I think would be good. Okay, so that's just really an agenda item, but it's something that was on my mind. So we've got July 17th is the next school board meeting at 7 o'clock here. July 22nd is the annual meeting, the budget hearings at 7, and the annual meeting immediately following
It's at the middle school.
at the middle school.
It'd be nice if we got a text to remind us.
I don't know. Who you could do that. You're the attorney.
Not at all. Don't move back over there.
Gosh, would like to do it.
Oh, sure, I'll text you.
Shoot. August 8th is the school board development meeting at 5 o'clock here, and that is with the admin. Correct?
Mhm.
And August 21st is the school board meeting at 7. Yeah, I think that's good. Those are all the upcoming important dates. So now, a motion to go into closed session, and whoever does that gets to read the statute.
Random question. August 8th, Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure I'm.
I'll make a motion, we convene the closed session for Wisconsin statute 19.851C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility regarding administrative contracts.
Second.
Yeah. So Dave made the motion, Jeff second, so now we'll go into roll call. Just say aye.
Aye.
All right, so at 7:23.